How you doing, Opie? It's time to start the show. Okay. There we go. I'd like to start it out with a little fire, Scarecrow. Continuing paint today. Welcome, Opie. How are you? Good to see you. Dodge Dakota time. Get rid of that. It's cold out there today, so I have to leave the door closed because it's just cold. Leopold Leo, how are you? Dustin, good to see you. Good to see you guys. So yesterday, I'm just continuing. I'm going to be continuing paint on this. It's 2005 Dodge Dakota. So thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Hope you guys got something to drink. For me, it's coffee. Leopold, Leo, peace, brother. Hopefully, you guys, let me put this back so you can see a little bit better, guys. Yeah. Just trying to knock this crap off the receiver hitch here. Not looking for perfection. I just want to get this crud off so I can put some Rust-Oleum black on here. And check out my videos. I put paint on a new box. Well, it's not new, but a rust-free box. And hopefully, I'm going to put the box on this coming week. Gonna let this paint all dry and yeah, making progress. this is looking pretty sad actually. The 7-way plug on here. I don't like this too much. Doesn't look all that healthy. Yeah, see this? This should be replaced, really. It's not in good shape. And I do have to open the door because it's dusty. There we go. That's good enough for the girls' lead date, right? All right, so. Air hose this up. All right, I gotta turn this music up. Yes, sir. Yes. Good one. Good one. This one's not for the faint of heart. Yes. show you the progress. Lucas, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I'm not trying to be Picasso here. I'm just slopping it out. Obviously. That was a good tune. Yeah, I know. I'm painting this. coffee time. I just want to say, anybody who's here, you guys rule. And I mean that. Sincerely. Another can. Yes. Yes. Yeah, buddy. As Ronnie Coleman would say. Ronnie Coleman. great song. Urbane Van de Voorde? Good to see you. Hello. How are you? Welcome in. Switching sides. Yes. Good one. This is a great one. Yes, good one. Raw Side Paranormal, how are you? You got it. You're here. And Sarah Chuck Ubu, good to see you. I probably butchered that, but good to see you. Raw Side Paranormal, do what you need to do. I'm happy that you're getting out there doing stuff. Feels good, doesn't it? bit of a ballad. This may be a bad idea. I'm doing it anyway. Couldn't hurt. If the fuel pump goes, you gotta drop the tank anyway, so it's not a big deal. Alright guys, this is why I don't bring my brand new camera out here. Yeah, so alright. So also, while I'm out here, I'm going to be filming for my new video. So, you guys are going to be witnessing it. So here we go. Now this in particular video probably won't be coming out for, I don't know, a couple months, so, but you will be able to see it on my channel. So you'll be able to see all my screw ups in real time. I usually screw up like 3 or 4 times before I get it right. There we go. Let me see. That light's not good. Let me turn it this way. Let's try that. Here's why I don't know what to say, but I just go anyways. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think I've got all the paint on there. I just finished a second coat. I've got the receiver hitch, the class 3 receiver hitch. I don't know if this was a mistake, but I was saying to myself, if this has to come out, you got to drop the tank anyway, so it's not a big deal painting this. It was pretty rusted, so I threw a layer of Rust-Oleum oil-based paint on top of the ring that holds the fuel pump in anyway. I really had nothing to lose, so I went ahead and did it. Now, I did go to the parts store, looked for a piece of piping for the exhaust, couldn't find any. I actually went to Napa. I should say, yes, they did have some, but it was a 10-foot piece, and they wanted like $10 billion for it, so I wasn't going to pay that. So guess what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to keep it there. It's functional. It has a slight exhaust leak. It's back here. It's not like it's getting into the cab and killing me. So I'm going to leave that. I'm actually really glad that I didn't cut it out. I left it. I took a measurement, you know, it's a 3-inch piece exhaust. I'm just going to leave it. And I'll cross that bridge when I get to it with a new piece. But for now, it works. I'm leaving it. And I just wanted to tackle this while the bed was off because it was going to be way easier. And yeah, oh, I actually see where I missed some. You know what? I'm leaving it because I'm going to take some of the spray undercoat and spray that. But let's take a look. Check out all the stuff that I painted. Came out pretty good. It looks way better than it did. And to be honest with you, I really didn't want to paint this, but after seeing it painted, it looks way better, and I'm kind of glad I did because it will sort of prolong the life of the truck. So let's have a look. All right, guys, there. I just did a sort of monologue of catching the video up on what I did. And I didn't really screw up. I can't believe it. With you guys watching, I hate doing ums and ahs, and I do like a lot of but anyways and stuff like that. And I'm really trying to get away from that with my verbiage and trying to like be more fluent. And so that way my edit can go a lot faster in post. So that went rather well. I got to be honest with you. So, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and film the, you know, it's going to be like a montage. So bear with me on this one. I also got to say that the fumes in here from this stuff are pretty toxic, so I probably should open the door. This Rust-Oleum is fantastic. You used to be able to get this stuff for like, you know, like 15 bucks a can, but now it's like 30. It's close to like 30 bucks a can when like with tax and all that stuff. So, you know, for a quart. So it's rather expensive, but I got to say it's worth it. When you're doing something like this, as opposed to like a rust inhibitor, a quart of rust inhibitor would cost you $80 to do this. And for something like this, this is perfect for it. And it's really going to outlast the truck. So it's perfect for this. And I always, I'll turn, if you guys can see, I apologize if this is kind of rude that you can't see me. I always give myself a 3, 2, 1. So when I'm editing, I know where to give myself the in for the split. Anyway, you'll see. You'll hear me anyway over here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we have it. Actually even painted on top of the leaf spring. What I'll do is actually get it up in the air and shoot underneath it with the spray stuff. I really don't want to be painting upside down because then the paint starts dripping on you and it makes a huge mess. Seeing how I've got probably a pint of wasted paint that has dripped down. Now, I didn't want to be like Vincent van Gogh or Picasso painting this thing. I just wanted to get it done. But again, you know, it actually came out pretty good. Got on top of the leaf spraying and stuff like that. Mounting points on the shadows. This is in really, really good condition. I've seen a lot of these type of trucks that are not. I've even taken a hammer and smacked it just to make sure that I didn't have to do any welding because I would have taken care of it while the box is off. So yeah, it is in really, really good shape. And even the receiver, you know, is in fantastic shape because it's actually part of the bumper mounts to it. So the bumper's in good shape. I'll be able to reuse that. There's no rust on the bumper. So yeah, the box really was the only thing that was really rough on the thing. All right, I'm almost done tonight with this video. Yeah, that's cool, Laura. Sorry I missed your chat there. Let me see. I think I might have caught something on video. Oh, cool. I have to put it in the editor so I can freeze frame. Cool. Yeah, that's going to be sweet, man. Yeah, once you finally go out and start doing it, you're probably going to be like, I want to go out again. You're going to sort of get like the bug for it. Okay, now, so the next shot I'm going to do is going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be getting it down and actually getting it out of here so that we can get the box on it. I think. Yeah, that'll be good. And I think I'm going to go live with that, and I'm thinking I'm going to have my buddy come over and help me with that, so you guys will actually be part of the experience. And again, I'll be filming that at the same time. So it's kind of a concept I thought of, you know, sort of film at the same time, and then later you guys will be able to see the video and say, hey, I was watching him live do that. So I don't know, I thought it was kind of a neat idea. So yeah, all right, so now I'm going to go ahead and film that part where I tell the audience, okay, next, let's get it out of here. Or I'm going to tell them I'm going to shut it down for the night. That's what I'm going to do. Shut it down for the night, and I'll see them in the morning and get this out of here. Yeah. Whew. It's tough thinking about sequences. And then you got to keep everything, the continuity too. And then you do all that in post. But anyway, let's do it. Three, two, one. Okay, well, I think I am done for the night. I'm going to let this whole place air out because these fumes on this Rust-Oleum, it's a great product. And you can tell it's great when it has deadly fumes. That's right. So I think I'm going to let it air out in here, give this a chance to dry. And actually, I'm pretty impressed with how fast this dries. I was thinking it was going to take a really long time to dry because I've got a lot of thick areas. But when I came out this morning, because I painted it last night, it was pretty much dry. So I just put the second coat on, and I am pretty confident by the time I get out here tomorrow afternoon-ish, it'll be dry. So I'll be able to pull the truck out, let it sort of bake in the sun, and it'll be dry. And then we'll be able to go to get the, see, I need more coffee, to get the box on, and I will get some help. Hopefully my buddy, Dennis, who knows, will be able to get the box on. And we'll go from there, okay? All right, we'll see you on the next segment. So I just figured out why I get so breathy when I do those. The camera is heavy. Like, I sit there and the camera, I have to hold it up, and I realize this isn't even my bad shoulder, but I sit there and I think, man, the camera's getting heavy, and I get tired. I'll get tired. It's crazy. I know it sounds stupid, but man, when you're sitting there like that, and then you're thinking about, okay, what am I going to say? And my shoulder starts to get tired, and you know, I don't know. It's just, I think it's from like thinking about what you're going to say on top of everything. So yeah, time for fireballs. I started the show out with a fireball, Craig. And by the way, anybody in chat, check out Craig's YouTube channel. He's got some killer rides. His wife has a 2000 Trans Am. It's like a Firehawk, isn't it? Do they consider that like a Firehawk? Anyway, that's a killer ride. He's got a Fox body, 1986 Fox body, 4-eyed. Oh, that thing is killer. Some nice stuff. WS6, yes, WS6. Some nice stuff. So he's got a really cool channel. His videos are not long-winded like mine. So my videos are like, I think my shortest video is 18 minutes long, something like that. So give him a look, man. He's got some cool stuff on there. And his garage is a lot cleaner than mine, so yeah, give it a look. But yeah, so I'm glad to be done painting this thing. It's a sloppy, nasty mess of a job, so that's why I never wear rubber gloves except when I'm doing the Rust-Oleum stuff. So I don't wear rubber gloves when I'm like working on a car or anything like that. 1 second, sorry. Put this up. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, you got it, dude. He's got more subs than I do, for crying out loud. I'm trying to boost that. And that dude's Nova was sick too. And actually, dude, I like that dude's Civic too. That was nice too. Tell he had some work done to that. So, and now it's the part of the segment where we just chat a bit before I work a little bit more on the truck. If you guys got any questions or shout outs, please go ahead. No worries there. I'm all ears, feel free. And I think it's like 45 degrees out today. So $450, is that 25 psi? You must be talking about that Civic. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Or you must be talking about, is it? Yeah. So you must be talking about the Nova for the 450, right? 450 horse. Gotcha. Yeah. The Civic's making the 450. That's crazy, dude. That's freaking nuts. That's incredible. That's incredible. It's amazing, isn't it, how they can get that much horsepower out of those engines? Man, that's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Laura? 450 horse out of a Honda Civic. Isn't that nuts, Laura? Anybody here also go to Ross Side Paranormal? She does some great interviews if anybody's into that sort of thing. She's constantly working her tail off to do interview style stuff. Yeah, give her a look too. She's got great stuff too. So third time was the charm. Yeah, exactly. I know I got a ton of stuff to download on this camera, the other camera, the GoPro. I think tomorrow I think I'm gonna be in the house doing computer stuff. So I got a benefit I have to go to for a friend that unfortunately passed away. So we have to go to that, and then I don't know. I got to get in there and do some editing. I have to. So I'm supposed to be doing a video a week and 2 shorts a week. And but I have to be out here doing this, so it's a vicious cycle. So yeah, he's on his third motor. I was thinking that's what you meant. It's not tuned up all the way either. Yeah, probably because he blew the previous two, so he didn't tune it up all the way. Yeah, I'm filming a members vid tomorrow. Okay, cool. All right, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome, man. I think I should probably put this this down here. Let's see. Oh, actually, I should put this up in the air so I can get ready to paint this. No, Craig, I think because I had to finish the paint on this thing, so I'm actually going to raise this up and then finish underneath it. But I'm just going to spray it though. So I was actually just going to raise it up and see what I got to do underneath it. Laura being the goat of all time. Yeah, man. All right, so let's see. Put you guys here. Whew, man, them fumes, I tell you, that's some strong stuff. No. Come on. That stuff is toxic. Woo! I wrecked my favorite shirt. Dang it. Yes! Another epic song. Give me another epic song. This is an epic one. Now we wait. Craig, you still there? Now it's time for your favorite part of the show. Come on, lighter.